This episode is brought to you by the spring cleaning champions of the world, baby! Manscaped. This season, make sure to groom your carpets and the drapes with the leaders in below-the-waist grooming. Clear out that winter bush with Manscaped's all-new Lawnmower 5.0 and watch your confidence bloom like the springtime flowers, baby. Embrace the season. Enjoy the 10 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with their special offer. Go to manscaped.com right now and use promo code FRATCHAT for 20% off plus free shipping. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the promo code FRATCHAT. Oh, yeah. We are recording.
I forgot to take my meds this morning because it's part of my routine before I go to work. But on my days off, I forget.
Oh, Mr. No Days Off. Is that why on weekends are always a little, you know?
You know, if I don't take my meds, I do get a little anxious. I get a little anxious. Oh.
You know, I don't want to offend anyone. That's why I don't go into details, but you know, it's just a little, you know.
Yeah.
So take your pills, Simo.
I got it. So I don't want to be a raging bitch. Let me tell
That's
you,
why we record this remotely on weekends, just because, you know.
Without my medicine, I go through withdrawal symptoms, and then I am just wrecked.
Something sadder than watching the gay guy with the shakes. You know, you think he's about to break into song and dance, and no, it's just sad. He just needs drugs.
Yeah.
Oh. Anyway, we're gonna do this in 3, 2, 1. What are you doing?
Testes in my mouth.
Get on the ground, you fucking pledge.
Ew.
Welcome to the greatest podcast experience of your life. This is the Frat Chat Podcast.
All young men like 3 things. Food, news, pussy.
Featuring Carlos Garcia and Chris
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the greatest podcast in the history of podcasting time. It's the Frat Chat Podcast. I'm Carlos Garcia with Chris Moore. Let's go, Mr. Moon.
How's it going? I'm good. How are you?
I am living the dream. It is a yucky Saturday here. It's pouring rain in Hoboken, New Jersey as we record this. Simo is in Astoria, Queens, New York, over there with Spider-Man. And here's the thing. I have no shows tonight, which means I don't have to do shit. And that's kind of what I live for. So
Is Spider-Man from Astoria?
He's from Queens. I don't know if he's
Really?
Astoria. Yeah, Spider-Man.
I haven't seen him.
He's in Queens. I know.
But I will
There's
have
2 of them, too, though. You got to watch out.
Spidey
Peter
sense
Parker
from now
is the
on.
white Spider-Man. And then there's Miles Morales, which is the Latino one. And, you know, might steal your wallet, but he'll give it right back because he is Spider-Man. So it's my people.
Your people.
That's right. That's right. So how's your rainy day going, Mr. Mom?
It's gross out, and I had a work emergency that I'm trying to manage from afar. Ugh. Like the gate that goes up in front of the shop broke halfway, and so they couldn't open the door to let people in, and then the alarm was going off. It was like a whole thing. I felt so bad for them, and they're stuck outside, and it's raining. Ugh, I feel so bad for them. But also, I felt bad for me because I'm like, you woke me up.
Yeah, that sucks. That really sucks.
I barely have 2 days off. Like, can I just sleep at just one day? It's one day in my life.
Well, I do have some positive news to share for you.
What's that?
Mr. Mo.
You're pregnant.
No, I keep trying, but you know, just a couple more turkey baster sessions, and maybe it's because I'm using my own, and that's you can't. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Talk after the show. Anyways, I got some big news, Mr. Mo, because in the world of nature, This is a first ever, brought to you here by the Frat Chat Podcast. Who is brought to you by ScientificAmerican.com. And apparently, and you can see the pictures there of the action going on, humpback whales were observed having sex in nature for the first time. Which is a big
that's
deal.
beautiful. I think sex.
But here's the thing.
What's the thing?
It was two male whales. That's another one for the gays. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Male whales.
They were published this week, the surprising images in a paper in Marine Mammal Science, which were recorded by chance in January 2022 by Lyle Cranitchfield and Brandy Romano, two photographers based in the Hawaiian island of Maui. And these whales slowly swam towards their boat. And apparently, hold on, let's see. We gotta set the mood here a little bit, you know? Oh, yeah. And then two whales swam towards their boat. And whale B kept approaching whale A from behind, holding on with his pectoral fins and copulating with whale A. Each penetration lasted for less than 2 minutes. Oh, I know how that goes, buddy. Ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Simo. Now, they say homosexual behavior is an extremely common thing in the animal kingdom and very common for other species of cetaceans. Same-sex sexual acts play an important social role for common bottlenose dolphins, for example. And homosexuality has been seen in other whales, dolphins, and porpoises, including killer whales, gray whales, boathead whales, and Amazon River dolphins. Now, they say that also homosexual acts have also been seen in other types of animals, for example. For what's that?
Penguins.
That's right. And well, and let me see. They got also the Octopus-Teuthis deletron, which is just a squid. They could have just gone with that. Apparently, coming across the potential male is so rare for them that mates randomly shoot sperm packets at any individual they encounter from their own species, male or female. Woo, that was SEMA in college, so that totally know how that goes. And even though species of flatworms are hermaphrodites, which means they have both male and female reproductive organs, they duel with their penis to impregnate a male and avoid the energetic cost of laying eggs themselves. And on land, last but not least, same-sex activity has been recorded in bonobos, flamingos, bison, geese, dragonflies, and Simo's house. Am I right? Oh, yeah.
Wait, bonobos, isn't that like a
Simo.
retail shop?
yeah, right?
Sexual activity has been recorded in the dressing room of bonobos.
That's right.
Is it bonobos or bonobos?
That's why I don't go there anymore. I've seen some things. But I guess now we know why they call them humpback whales. Am I right? Oh, yeah. Oh,
Okay,
yeah,
so
Simo.
I have a question. Do whales have buttholes?
Well,
Were they
I
buttholes?
somehow knew you were going to ask me about this.
Yeah.
And so I did some research. And here's the thing. You know, they don't have buttholes, but they have like basically a little slit that their wieners go into and come out of. Kind of like sharks. So when they need him, you know, they come out, but you don't want them just dangling out there because some beast might chomp. So it's like a little hole in there where the wiener goes into, but the whale that's banging the other whale can't go in all the way with its wiener because obviously in the slit there's a giant whale penis just hiding in there. So you know, it's like they play like a game of just a tip essentially, just a whale.
Oh, they do tummy sticks.
That's right. Like it goes in just a little, and it's like if gay sex for you was like sticking your wiener in someone's wiener hole a little bit.
Oh, it's like Isn't there a term called like Chinese fire trap or something? If one
Oh
guy
yeah.
circumcised, the other one isn't, and then you use the foreskin and you go over the other one.
The old anaconda.
I like to take my husband's foreskin and put it over my nose and dunk me in water. That's called snorkeling.
See if I can hold his breath for hours.
Yeah.
Smells like queso.
Queso. Yummy, yummy.
He looks like an elephant. Oh man. Yeah, so that's another one. It's another win for the gays, in my opinion, because if you see a certain political group out here, I won't name names, but they have a thing against the gays. Republicans. Oh, I'm sorry.
And it's not even all of them. You know, like I will say that, you know, I don't necessarily agree with everything that Meghan McCain has to say, but she is a big advocate for the queer community. And there's a couple people that we'll discuss today that surprisingly support the queers. So it's really just
but they're
Trump loving Republicans that are like the worst.
Well, but unfortunately, even though they may not be themselves, they support a party who actively is trying to take away the rights. And, you know, Trump Republicans or not, they haven't really been for gay rights, historically speaking. And even if Trump wasn't here, I don't think, you know, I don't think that would change much. I think it changed just how fast they got it done in a scary way. Because it really put the ugliest people in the forefront. But that's just me. So they keep saying shit like, "Oh, this shit doesn't happen in nature." Yeah, it does. It happens all the goddamn time.
Happens all the time with the biggest of the biggest dicks in the world. Whales have the biggest dicks of them all.
In fact, whale dicks are so big that photographers, this is a true story, mistook them for the fucking the Loch Ness monster. They thought it was a whale just on its back with its dick out in the air, which apparently is something they do for some reason. And fucking early photographers thought it was the Loch Ness monster. That's how big they are. So,
oh my god.
I put that in your whale slit.
I watched this video on YouTube. I always watch animal videos. It's kind of like my guilty pleasure, but like cats and puppies and things like that, you know. And there was a blooded up duck.
Oh.
And I was like, what happened to this duck? And then it turns out that it was just mating.
Wow.
And then ducks, when ducks mate, it's really intense.
Really?
Yeah, they like bite each other, and like their duck penises hurt the females' vaginas. It's like really painful for them.
Duck dicks are like really curly. Apparently, it's not smooth like a human one, because
it's like
it's like a little pulley hook. It's like a pigtail almost that goes longer. And I don't know how I know this, but my prediction is, I haven't done any research into this, but my prediction is because ducks are in the water, right? So they got to have a dick. And this makes sense because whales' dicks are kind of curly too. They got to have a dick that can like get in there and hold in whatever they're banging. So, you know, so they don't just slip off in the water. Because, you know, for humans, we can have hot tub sex, but we got arms. They got no arms. They just got wings. So I think that's why their penises are weird like that.
You know what? I said earlier that I think sex is beautiful, but I take it back now. I think it's disgusting. Painful.
Yeah, sex is kind of weird.
Sometimes at work, I'm sitting at my cubicle wondering if people can smell the shit, lube, and shame leaking from my torn up butthole. It's horrible.
Sex is awesome, but definitely super weird. Especially when your uncle's watching. It's like, hey, turn off that camera. Get out of here.
Let me get the lighting right before you start recording.
That's right. That's why I always have that ring light in the background. You never know. It's always showtime. Anywho.
Anywho,
Mr. Mo, it is time for another week, not week 3. A little segment that has been hitting the waves here at the Frat Chat Podcast that people seem to like. And it's called Comedians Being Passive Aggressive to Each Other for 60 seconds.
and before we do that, can you hear me okay on my microphone?
Yeah, I can hear you great.
Okay. I just want to make sure that I'm heard.
that was deep. That really got me. Man. Now do me a favor. Click this timer link that I put there real quick.
A timer link?
Let me see.
Okay.
Do you see a 1-minute timer right there?
Yes.
Okay, now I'm gonna hit start on my end and tell me if this timer starts moving on your end.
Okay, let's see.
Okay, it's moving on my end.
Nope, not on my end.
Okay, never mind. I was thought that maybe if I send you the link, we could both see the same timer. But I have a minute timer here set up, and it's gonna go off with an alarm this week because we here at the Frat Chat Podcast are fucking professionals. And you'll hear the alarm. So whatever is being said there, we have to cut because apparently we can do this for a while. So, anyways, this is week 3. Comedians being passive aggressive to each other for 60 seconds.
For 60 seconds.
That's right. Brought to you by the greatest podcast in the history, podcast in time, the Frat Chat Podcast. All right, and we're going.
Hit
Simo.
me.
Oh, no, please. I am not your father.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a quick story for you.
Okay, go on. Is it
Okay,
your sex
once upon a
life? Because we
time,
have less than a minute.
I know. But once upon a time, I met this beautiful Latin guy. He took me to this beautiful Latin restaurant, and I said no queso because I can't have cheese, And we went home to his house, and he pulled out his penis, and guess what I found? A lot of queso. And I said, Carlos, get that cheesy dick out of my face!
Now, I'm actually offended that you would share that live on the air after I told you numerous times not to. At the same time, you did put it in your Caesar salad, so I don't know what you want from me.
I'm sorry. Did you understand
said it
what
was
I
delicious.
said? I talk really fast. I know it's not your native tongue. Hay mucho queso en tu panga. Yo no puedo tener productos de
I
leche.
heard.
And that was a minute.
And that was comedians being passive aggressive to each other for 60 seconds. And that bell reminded me of the Saved by the Bell intro, and I kind of wanted to, when I wake up in the morning, I have to watch that show. Ooh, man, that segment always puts me in a good mood now.
Because I'm saved by the... I used to love that show. I used to wake up early to watch it.
Dude, it holds up. I think it's on Peacock now, but I watched some of it on Netflix. I think I watched some of it on Peacock. It really is still funny, especially once you get to like not necessarily season 1, but like season 2-ish when they're slightly a little bit older. It's like well written, honestly. It's a really funny show. If you've never seen Saved by the Bell, you'll still laugh at it. I guarantee it. So check it out. It's worth it. And the remake was good too. The Peacock remake.
Remember when Jesse had a drug problem with the caffeine pills?
Yeah.
I remember there's some kids in school that had Coke problems, and I was like, wow, they're so cool. I had a laxative addiction, and that was certainly not getting me high fives in the locker room, I assure you.
No,
but having
not
a
the
Coke
coolest
problem,
addiction.
like, elevated you to like a cool kid,
It's not the cool addiction when you say you shit a lot. There's something about cocaine that at least look cool, I have to say. Lax, I don't know.
Cocaine gets you up, and laxatives get you down.
Simo was a lax bro growing up. I never knew.
A lax bro.
Anyway,
what's on the agenda for today?
Mr. Mo,
Yeah.
I am glad you brought that up because this week, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting now to election season. It's this year, November. Holy shit. Crazy. But while the electoral season is going to get ready to divide this country and split it right in half, right versus left, your ideas versus their ideas, we here at the Frat Chat Podcast thought we'd do something a little different and instead bring you all together. That's right. Because we're going to talk about politicians. But we're not going to talk about politics and parties. No, we're going to talk about sexiness. Oh, yeah, ladies and gentlemen. Because this week, we're going to give you a list of 10 politicians who we just think are oh so hot, oh so sexy. And we're going to let you decide if you would hit it like we would. Oh, yeah. Because this is our top 10 sexiest politicians right here at the Frat Chat Podcast. Wrong icon there.
That's not on the list.
Yeah, Simo. There you go. Those are the ones I wanted. Not the womp. You can't give him the womp. It's not the womp time. It's sexy time.
It's sexy time, but guess who didn't make the cut?
Who?
Marjorie Taylor Greene, if you're listening to this, I'm sure you are. Sorry, you look like a Neanderthal.
Yeah, she really does look rather Neanderthalish. And I say that as a guy who I've been told looks rather Neanderthalish. My forehead is legitimately 2 fingers. You can see my hairline there. 2 fingers, which is, rather than the Neanderthal side. I get it. Simo's got like a whole hand over there. Goddamn.
I have a huge forehead.
So I don't want to take a headbutt from Simo. Good Lord.
You don't want to.
Break a wall.
You might.
But yeah, Marjorie, she's got that slanted forehead down here. And
there's an article where they compared her face with like a Homo erectus Neanderthal looking person, and it was
pretty
identical.
Close. Yeah, it's pretty close. And she's a fit lady. Don't get me wrong. She works out pretty strong.
Cunt.
But and you'll see on this list, being a dumbass will not withhold you from being on this list. We don't care. This is all by looks. We're not thinking with the top head during this episode. Thinking with the bottom one. Oh yeah. Oh yes. But Marjorie, I just not. I feel like you don't bang Marjorie Taylor Greene. She bangs you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I
she
bet
holds you down.
She's a 5 clinger.
Oh yeah, she's probably so annoying. Actually. Ugh. But again, being annoying is not going to withhold you from being on this list. But she just happens to be on a list of her own. She's no league of her own. If you would bang Marjorie Taylor Greene, let us know. Maybe we won't reveal your name on the air to help your identity. Or maybe we will. Maybe she's looking for a sugar daddy or something. I don't know.
Can you hear the rain?
No.
I think God's crying because we're talking about Marjorie again.
No, the rain had stopped on my end, but there's certain things that God does not like.
God's like, give it up. We get it. She sucks. Like everyone knows.
Anyways, it's time to get to it. Why don't you go first, Mr. Mao?
Well, I'm going to start with the obvious, and that's President John F. Kennedy.
Oh,
yeah, I understand. He was a president, and that's fantastic. Good for him. But I mean, what's really notable is that he banged Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah. And you gotta, Marilyn Monroe at her like peak of fame and babeness too. Like she was not just banging anyone back in those days. So you gotta be something special. And also Jackie O, who was one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen. She was even beautiful when she died as an old lady. Wait, she is dead, right? Make sure she.
John F.
died.
Kennedy.
Yeah, she
You know,
died. I knew
I
that.
can't think of any of his policies. You know, I'm not very well versed in politics, but I
Oh,
do
well, he
remember.
was responsible. He was trying to open up relationships with Cuba,
Oh,
so it
really?
wasn't so bad. But then there's rumors that that's why he was killed, because the CIA didn't want that. And then they said you must die.
Oh no. Well, so I don't know anything about that, but I do
But
know that Marilyn Monroe sang happy birthday to him, and drag queens across America have mimicked that moment for a lifetime. You know?
happy birthday, Mr. President. Oh.
And so I feel
There's a
like,
famous Chappelle joke, and he's like, "Bitch, my family's here." Like,
yeah.
it's so true, dude. Like, what are you doing? That was like on live television. Like, ooh, we're to tell the world.
Yeah.
that made me wet. Like Jesus. That
Yeah,
was whoo.
he gave me some soggy panties. Somebody give me a biscuit to
Mhm.
soak up these juices. My
That's why the
God,
panties were so
Lord
big back
Jesus.
then. You know? You got to soak them all up. Yeah, he was. Now here's the thing with JFK. There is apparently a caveat. He was a war hero before he was president. So apparently, that's one of the reasons he wore a lot of suits in public, was because his body was a little beat up. He was in a lot of pain on a daily basis, and he probably had some scars there and some wounds, because he took a ass kicking.
I think scars are so sexy.
So Simo's all about it.
Oh my God. Scars and tattoos really tell a story, you know?
Wow. And it's crazy. He survived the sinking of a PT boat, and he rescued a bunch of sailors. And that's why he was left with serious injuries. But you're gonna like this one. Look at here.
I can rescue some sailors.
Hello. Here, look below the picture JFK. I just posted him in the war. World War II.
In the war?
Scroll down.
Yeah, he's looking good.
He's a cool ass dude with those fucking aviators and stuff, and hair looking crisp as shit. Knows the value of rocking a good chain, even though obviously his are military dog tags, but pretty cool. Pretty cool. Knows the value of some good chest hair. Me and JFK really relate. So I'm with you. I think the world found JFK sexy, and he was so good. He was so sexy that by association, his brother Robert became sexy too.
Yeah,
that's why he was kind of like, okay, I'll come to the party, but can my brother come? Here, I'll come to your party. Can Robert come? Okay.
Young Bobby. Bobby Kennedy bought a horse from my grandma. They were friends.
I told you to stop calling your uncle that. That's really rude.
What if Bobby Kennedy was my grandpa?
That'd be weird.
That'd be really bad because it was a Kennedy curse. They all die.
That's true.
John F. Kennedy Jr. Woo, what a babe. He died in a plane crash, John.
Yep. And whatchamacallit? Which one was the Kennedy that died recently, though? But Ted Kennedy. Ted Kennedy survived the curse, but he killed someone himself. So maybe
he did.
Yeah, that's why he was never president. He would have been a shoo-in for president. People loved him, but he went to oh God, what's the place called? It's like Montauk or something like that. One of these nice beaches, like the Hamptons, something like that. And he was away in one of these like nice rich people resorts, and he was driving with a lady.
Was he getting roadhead and lost control of the
car? I don't think so. He was drunk as shit, and it's in Chappaquiddick, Massachusetts, and he like crashed his car into this lake, and the fucking lady who was in the passenger side drowned in there. And he like didn't do anything to get her out. Apparently then he like did not report the accident until after 10 a.m. the next day. Meanwhile, it happened.
Some really bad roadhead.
Yeah, right. Meanwhile, it happened the day before. Like it was bad. It was really, really fucking bad.
How recent
he
was
ended
that?
up getting like he ended up getting a 2-month suspended jail sentence because he pled guilty to leaving the scene of an accident. But it was pretty much that, you know, if he wasn't a Kennedy, he would probably been in jail. And it led to a lot of people souring on him. And he eventually became, you know, still a politician and stuff, but he obviously would never have one president with that record.
Oh my God.
Pretty dark shit, huh? There's actually a good movie on it. I forget the name on it, but you can Google Ted Kennedy crash movie, and it's pretty recent, and it kind of shows how it all kind of went down, according to, you know, witnesses, brother. But yeah, he made it. He lived from 1932 till 2009. So I think that's how you break the curse. You have to take a life. It's like The Ring, you know, you have to make someone watch the video.
Or it's like Final Destination, where you could substitute your death with someone else's, maybe. Or you can bring someone to life if they die and come back, or if you have a baby.
That's true. There you go.
Anywho, what's first on your list?
First on my list, I'm gonna also stick to an obvious one, because America, I'm sexy and I know it. It's me, Barry Obama. The man is fit, athletic, intelligent, the definition of cool. You can see me looking at him shirtless, paddleboarding, and he's jacked. Yeah. And he's a great husband and a father. You really can't have a list of sexy politicians without featuring Barack Obama, or as Simo calls him, Sexy Barry.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Simo. I mean, you gotta talk. You know, you can. Like I said, you can't have this list without featuring Barack Obama. I used to work. I used to be an intern for DoD, Department of Defense, and I was a paid intern, and it paid pretty well. And so it was far. I had to work in DC, which was annoying as shit to drive to from where we went to college from, but it made it worth it because of the money and because I would be working in this Fort McNair, where sometimes Barack Obama would get flown into when he needed, you know, a little break from the White House and stuff. And he would come in there and like play basketball with like the servicemen and stuff that work there and, you know, get a workout in. And when he got caught smoking a couple cigarettes in a fort, you know, after a meeting, it was at that same fort right before.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it was where he would come unwind a little bit too, and there would be important meetings there and shit that are held too. But he came and played basketball there too. So he was just a cool ass dude. He's one of the bros, one of the boys, but at the same time, like, God, what an fucking intelligent, intellectual guy. Like, he's so fucking cool and smart and just knows so much.
What a hot couple.
Yeah, his wife Michelle's a babe too. You know, if Michelle was, because here's the thing, she herself doesn't really want to go into politics herself, but she would have made a shoe-in on this list. But yeah, they're both babes. Good for them. Good for them. And they're just so really cool together.
Too. What an attractive family. For
sure. And you can tell that they just love each other so much. Like the shit that he says about her, it's just the sweetest shit you'll ever see. That I'm like, damn, Barry, save some for the rest of us. You know, like, damn. I don't even want Julie to hear the shit that he says because it's so sweet and well said that I'm like, damn, I can't say that.
Way to raise the bar, you jackass.
I know, right? That's why. That's why I'm not gonna lie. You got to give it to Trump. You know, he sets the bar nice and low for men everywhere. He's just out there grabbing women by the pussy. I think.
Well, I'm not doing that for obvious reasons.
That's right. I think the nicest thing he's ever said about one of his wives is mistaking her in trial for the girl that he raped. I think that's really about it. So, you know. Oh, yeah, I saw Melania. Okay, she had some tremendous knockers. Okay, I was like, I got to get them knockers right in my face. Okay, believe me. And then I gave her some money. And then we felt happily ever after. Okay, believe me. Until she's gone now. She's not answering my phone calls. But, you know, believe me, I've seen her boobies. So I got pictures right here. The man that buried his ex-wife in his golf course so he could turn it into quote unquote a cemetery and not have to pay estate taxes is not really the most romantic. So
No way.
I gotta get to Barry. He's kind of the best of both worlds. Anyways, I like to spice things up in the bedroom the best way I know how, people. By drawing funny designs in my pubic hair. You know, like if you look right now, I have Garfield, and let me tell you, he hates Mondays. Now, normally these trim jobs could be filled with nicks and cuts, which is very dangerous for my boys down below. Well, ladies and gentlemen, after using Manscaped, I can finally say I have caught the spring fever. Because, ladies and gentlemen, introducing the season's champ, the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra, baby. Yeah. Woo! Yeah. Their 5th generation trimmer features 2 interchangeable next generation skin safe blade heads, a standard one for taking a little off the top, and a new 4 blade to go smooth wherever your heart desires, which is typically your balls. It also features dual LED spotlights to guide you through the darkest winter debris. Navigate with confidence in your delicate areas, baby. And you hate making a mess? Well, don't you worry, because this bad boy is waterproof. Shave in the shower, in the bath, or in the ocean, wherever your heart desires. But don't do it on a public beach because you will get arrested. Now, I love this thing because it comes with a compact case. I take it with me everywhere I go. And I go lots of places, so it's got to come on the go. And spring cleaning doesn't just apply to the nether regions. Get the full grooming experience with Manscaped's signature Beard Hedger Pro Kit, plus the handyman electric face shaver. Whether you're looking to craft your signature look or clean up that neckline, these are always the right tools for the job. Now, you can get 20% off and free shipping right now with the promo code FRATCHAT at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with the promo code FRATCHAT at manscaped.com. Nothing like a little springtime cleaning in your pants with Manscaped. What you got next?
Well, it's not as controversial as Trump, who is also not going to be on our list. But this
No.
this person, people are going to question. I'm just going to say it. I think Mayor Eric Adams is sexy. If you've ever seen a picture of him with his shirt off,
What?
you would agree. So he is the 110th mayor of New York City. For those of you listening who don't know who this is, Google Eric Adams shirtless. So he is a fairly conservative member of the Democratic Party, which can be problematic to New Yorkers because they're super liberal. And he was also a police officer. He was an officer in the New York City Transit Police and then the New York City Police Department for more than like 20 years. And New Yorkers don't like love policemen. But he retired at the rank of captain. So he like worked his way up and he worked his body out the entire time because throughout his career, he had a banging body. He served in the New York Senate for a few years, representing the 20th Senate District in Brooklyn. And then in 2013, he was elected a Brooklyn Borough President, who being the first African American to hold the position. That I'm saying that because he had a lot of political experience before he was elected, and people are like, I can't believe we elected a police officer. Well, he had a lot of experience in politics. But what I think is really cool about him is that he was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes and then was able to reverse it with diet and exercise. And then in 2020, he published a plant-based advocacy cookbook, which I thought was really cool. So I think he's kind of a cool guy. with a banging body. He goes to the club a lot. I'm sure he probably rips his shirt off and has, a bunch of skanks all over him. And I say, you know what, you got to flaunt it. Why not?
I will
He's a
say
babe.
I had never seen him with his shirt off. I just Googled it, and the man is ripped. I will say that. But I can't see his face and not see like Whoopi Goldberg, or Mr. Edge. He's got a fortress of teeth there. That just makes me not be able to get past it. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, what? Maybe if the lights are off,
He looks a little bit like he could he could handle a jawbreaker candy with no problem. But
you can open a can.
I'm such a sucker for I'm such a sucker for some abs. You could be the biggest douche and you could have voted for Trump, but if you rip your shirt off and you got abs like Mayor Eric Adams, I'm like, eh. I'm such
hey,
a
butterfaces are a thing. Everybody, people love a good butterface. If someone's got a banging body, it often will hide away from an ugly or less appealing face. So yeah, that works. Because you've heard that term, right? Butterface?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. Is it for everybody who
Everything
hasn't?
is sexy.
Everything is hot except their face. Butterface.
Yeah.
But no, we did not come up with these. So don't cancel us. These are just things that I don't even know if that still gets used, but it was used a lot back in the days. So I'll give you that. He is really ripped up. Probably the best body on this list, I'm thinking. Because Barack is pretty ripped up, Barack Obama, but...
Well, I got a couple more comments, so don't you worry about that.
So we'll see. Okay. Yeah, he's got a couple more coming, all right. Oh, yeah, Simo.
Including myself. Okay, who's
Oh,
next on your
yeah.
list?
Anyways, up next on my list, I have one that you guys are not going to see coming. But trust me. Google it. Yeah, Simo. Google it. And it's going to be a young Hillary Clinton.
Ew, yuck. Does she look anything like her daughter when she was young?
No, not at all. Here, look at. Scroll down a little bit on my list, and you'll see a picture of her. She's a little babe.
I guess so. That's a good picture of her, but I don't know if that's a fair assessment of her. It's just happened to be one good picture.
There's a documentary on her that I saw on Hulu. That I'm not gonna lie, I didn't watch the whole thing. I started watching at like 2 a.m. when I just wanted to fall asleep, and I was watching a lot of stock footage of her in her college years and in her 20s, and I was like, "Damn, Hillary, you really did it for me." You know what I mean? I kind of get why Bill locked that down. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? Because Bill liked the babes, so. Gotta wonder why he wanted that one so bad. And she was a babe. She eventually then became like the politician's wife, and then the hair became different. And, then she herself wanted to go into politics. And I think her style became a little more less girly, so she could appeal to, sexist male voters, to be honest. It's hard to be a fucking woman running for president. So she definitely changed her style a bit, in my opinion. But good Lord, she was a babe. She kind of has like this thing where she was a babe who was trying to make the world a little better, and in my opinion, was a great combo. Like, she went to see Martin Luther King speak, for God's sakes. That's fucking awesome. So again, I just got to give kudos to Bill for locking that down in her prime, because he was lucky to have her, and she probably helped a lot with his career. More than we know.
Okay, so here's my question. A young Steven Tyler for me is like so sexy, and an old Steven Tyler isn't as sexy.
Looks like your aunt.
But I would still bone him just to say I did, just to live out that young ludicrous dream of mine. So, knowing what she used to look like, would you bone Hillary
Oh
Clinton
no,
today?
no, not
No,
now.
just
Because
to
at least
fulfill that
Steven
fantasy.
Tyler. Here's the thing: at least Steven Tyler is still trying to dress like a rock star, and he's tried to. He's done a lot of Botox, I'm sure, a lot of surgeries, a lot of shit to keep himself trying to look like he did at least in like the fucking 90s. Because there's no way he'll look like he did in the 70s. Meanwhile, Hillary, like I said, fucking transformed into, political transformer and looks totally, totally different. Like you can kind of see that it's her, obviously, but this is prime A babe right here. This picture, this is really doing it for me.
Man, what happened to her?
Steven,
Oof.
and actually though, I do know someone who knows Steven Tyler. So if you want his number, he looks like he wouldn't turn down a hot dog every once in a while, if you know what I mean. Oh yes, SEMO.
Yummy.
Just saying. Just saying. So young Hillary, if we ever figure out time travel, call me.
Well,
It's not cheating if it's in the past, right?
true. Next on my list, I don't think this conservative Republican would appreciate it, but I'm just going to say it, and that is Paul Ryan. If you're listening, and I'm sure you are, you're a babe, and just give me 10 minutes in a room with you, and I would rock your world. As long as it's consensual, because consent is sexy. Okay, so this guy, for you youngins who don't know who it is, he served as the 54th Speaker of the United States House of Representatives from 2015 to 2019, and I think was replaced by Nancy Pelosi. Is that true?
Mhm.
I think so, right? Anyway, so he's a member of the Republican Party, and he was also the vice presidential nominee in the 2012 election, but he lost to Barack and his vice president, Joe Biden. Remember him?
Yeah, and here's the thing. Paul Ryan kind of decided to, he's really one of the ones that really enabled Trump in his first term to do a lot of the things that he wanted to do. And while he stands proud of a lot of the political things that he accomplished, he got the fuck out of there because he was just like ashamed. And
Yeah.
he was supposed to be like one of the future guys in the party. And now he's totally gone from politics. But to me, to be honest, he reminds me of a slightly more handsome version of Gabe from The Office. And I put a picture of the guy right under him in the thing. The actor Zach Woods, who's in Silicon Valley and The Office and, things like that. I just think they look like brothers at least. But yeah, Paul Ryan was a handsome guy. I got to give it to him. He definitely had that like young, cool, up and coming politician look, but Trump just made him such a dweeb that I just can't unsee it. He was like such a nerd.
Oh, that's a killer bod. I'm looking for a picture to show you. Let me see. Yeah, he was so sexy. Well, to me, he was.
I keep Googling all these things. Yeah, he's a good looking guy. Now, he's no Mayor Adams, but yeah, he was fit.
Oh my
He's
gosh.
definitely fit.
Ooh. Getting hot in here.
But he definitely doesn't work out his legs. Here, let me show you this picture.
Oh no, he's one of those people.
Well, you'll see from the picture, the size of the swim trunks that he's wearing are absurd. You scroll down. I'll make him a little smaller too.
Oh wait, that's the same picture I'm uploading.
Look at the size of those swim trunks, dude.
Yeah, that's
They're
true.
huge. But good lord, no one wears trunks that big unless, you're hiding something. Or maybe it was really cold in that lake, and he's just trying to,
Yeah, he does have
keep
skinny
appearances.
legs. As long as he has a third leg that operates, I'm good.
I like that.
Is that his wife in the picture?
I don't know. I guess
Ooh,
so.
she needs some suntan lotion. She's gonna burn.
Yeah, she's really white, right? Like, I was just thinking about that. Like, he's a really white guy, and he looks Puerto
I
Rican.
get it. I
next
get
to
it.
her.
You love white people, and you found yourself the whitest one in the world. I get it. I get it, Paul Ryan. I get it. You are a Republican.
Maybe actually he got her, so she stands next to him during press conferences, and it makes him look tanner to help with the Hispanic vote. You know what I mean? So all the light reflects off her. Makes him look great. So, baby, just stand right here. Stay here. No, wait, right here. Perfect. I look awesome now. Don't fuck it up. Don't move.
Don't fuck it up.
Yeah, Paul Ryan. Yeah, I'll give it to him. He's like handsome. He's the one that got away almost for America. If he wouldn't have been such a fucking dweeb, so I think he showed his true colors. But anywho, moving on to my list, I'm gonna go with one that, to be honest, I hate myself for admitting this one because I think this woman is dumb as rocks, total hypocrite, and a con artist. And that's why on this list earlier, before we started, I said being annoying doesn't withhold you. Yes, that's right. Being annoying doesn't withhold you from being on this list or being dumb and all these things, because Lauren Boebert is here. And I would totally, I'm not going to lie, as much as I hate myself after, I would totally take her, the one and only Lauren Boebert, over to the theater, if you know what I mean. Google it if you don't know what I mean. Lauren Boebert theater. But yeah, I would bring it around town, and who knows, maybe I can fix her. Like, probably not, but let's just say that I'd love for her to go away from political office, and I'd love to watch her leave. Oh yeah.
Did you hear Chelsea Handler make fun of her and say that she had a rodeo stand, like selling like chili dogs or something, and everyone got diarrhea?
I didn't see that. That's great though.
And I think that her husband got in trouble for showing his dick to a bunch of people.
And a bowling alley, a group of underage girls in a bowling alley. She, loves to cover that up. Also, her kid was just arrested last week in Colorado for, a bunch of allegedly property thefts and vehicle trespassing, and for having these documents that he wasn't supposed to have, like ID documents, which I'm guessing he was using for his crimes, and apparently corrupting a minor or something like that, making a minor do a crime.
Oh no.
She also has, she was a teen mom whose kid, a 17-year-old, had a kid with a 15-year-old, and she, wowed her good, strong Christian morals because they didn't have an abortion. It's like, bitch, you're not getting it. You're so close to getting it, but you're not getting it. She's really a fucking hypocrite. And she's running right now in a different district than she won.
35-year-old grandma?
Yep, 35-year-old grandma.
Oh my God.
Wow, 35-year-old grandma. And she's running in a district unopposed, people, because she barely won in the district that she won in. She literally won by less than 500 votes, like something like very small. And she knows she can't win again. And the guy's raised a lot of money against her. So now she's running in a different district where she's running unopposed. So literally anyone run against her, beat her, guys. What the fuck?
You could be a lunch
Don't let
lady.
this woman stay in power by default.
A bus driver. You could be, I don't know, anyone. Please just run against her. There's no standards.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And hey, bus driver. The president of Venezuela now was a bus driver. Yeah, he sucks, but he was a bus driver.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was a bus driver. He started out. Now, a lot of people had to die for him to become president, but,
Didn't you say that Lauren Boebert was literally preaching about the son of Biden while her son was committing crimes at the exact same moment?
We're talking about that off air. She was giving a speech about how literally it was something like, the quote was something like, as I'm talking, Hunter Biden is probably doing another line of cocaine or something like that, like and committing crimes. And literally, as she was giving the speech, her kid was out in the streets committing these crimes that he was arrested for. It was the same night. So, I mean, karma really can't get any sweeter. But with that being said, that's not technically what this show's about. There is something about that woman when she comes on my TV or she comes on my screen, computer. I'm not gonna lie, I'm like, I hate to listen to her, but fuck, she does it for me. She's pretty sexy. I'd give it to her. There's some pictures of her like, in like these tight jeans, like holding a gun, and I'm like, I would not want to be anywhere near you with that gun because I'm sure you're fucking accidentally shoot me. But good lord, what a babe. She's good
She has
looking.
a lot of opinions coming from Colorado, and I'm like, aside from Denver and like Boulder, Colorado, does that state even matter? Like, can you think of any? The only thing I can think of in Colorado is maybe a couple like mass shootings, but
no.
I can't really think of like any significance that state brings.
The great crew of South Park lives in Colorado, Simo. So
Oh, really?
Just saying. Cartman and the crew. Yeah, hey, you guys, there's it. They're from South Park, Colorado.
Is South Park a real place?
South Park is a real place, actually. Crazy, right?
Well, speaking of sexy politicians, I got a really good banging body for you, and his name is Adam Kinzinger.
Oh yes, Simo.
So he's a former Illinois congressman, and by the way, I got a lot of these like stats from Wikipedia. Thank you, Wikipedia. I'm sorry that I haven't given you $2.43 last time you asked me, but I just was busy. So he was a former Illinois congressman.
Tough.
And I remember this because I was in Illinois when he was a congressman, and I thought, oh, what a babe. He was also a former military pilot, which is super sexy. And he's also been more recently a senior political commentator for CNN. Even though he's Republican, and I don't necessarily agree with everything that he has to say, but he was the first Republican congressman to call for Trump's removal from office via the 25th Amendment after the insurrection. So after the January 6th nonsense, he was like, okay, guys, it is what it is. Trump's got to go. And he was also quick to denounce Marjorie Taylor Greene when she had some of her like really inappropriate like anti-trans stances at the Capitol building. Remember when she put up a sign across from the other lady's office that said there's only two genders, but the office across from hers was a congresswoman who has a trans child. She's just a tasteless bitch, Marjorie. But he called her out on it.
But when she got divorced, she asked for her privacy. In
in
her life. Fucking bitch. When she makes everything public.
She also got
to humiliate people.
She got her forgiveness for a lot of her like student loans or whatnot, her like college debt, and then it was like, I don't think people should get forgiveness for college debt. I mean, what a hypocrite. She and Lauren Boebert should go like on an island together and just like never come back home. But Adam Kinzinger, he's one. If you see him shirtless, you'll be like, whoa, what a
when
babe.
I see from the picture here that he knows he's a little jacked up too, because you see he's wearing a polo shirt there and he's got the sleeves a little pushed back, so he definitely is trying to show off the buys there. And I'm not gonna lie, that's a move I do myself, so I gotta give respect to the game. If you have the arms, polos look really good on you guys. So he's rocking.
I give leeway to Republicans who are queer friendly, and the reason is because, like, obviously I don't agree with a lot of Republican values, but I sometimes if I can't decide on an individual, I vote on a particular issue, and I'm really big about queer rights. And so when a Republican is for the gays or for queers just in general, I think to myself, okay, this is a human. So at
Right.
least they're humanized. You know what I mean?
Now,
So
here's the
I give a
thing.
little bit of leeway.
The Republican Party, to me, has just become, to be honest, and this is going to get some people like outraged when they first hear it. Bear with me. The Republican Party has become like socialism in the sense that, in theory, socialism would have been great. You know what I mean? Everybody gets to own a bit of everything. All the resources get split evenly. But in practice, no government has actually done real socialism. It's just communism disguised by it. The Republican Party is the same thing. The Republican Party, in theory, less government intervention, letting people do whatever what they are supposed to do, not getting in the way of small businesses. Basically just not spending a ton of money on resources that don't need to be spent. That's all great, but that's not what they're fucking doing. They say that they want to keep government away from meddling into our rights when it comes to guns, but they even mistake that agreement because the gun law is supposed to be, the gun amendment is supposed to be if you're in a well-organized militia, not just some fucking asshole buying a fucking AK at Walmart. It doesn't work like that. But then they make these laws to fucking make abortion and shit like that illegal, and they want to control what women can and can't do with their body. Or they also, which is cheating, but they gerrymander districts and things like that, so people's votes don't matter, which is a huge level of government intervention. So they say that they want to keep it away, but they want to bring God into it. Gotta get the fuck out of here. So in theory, what the Republican Party was about, and if it went back to that, I would maybe even be a Republican myself. But in practice, that is not what they're doing. They're not the Republican Party of old. They're this weird MAGA hybrid now that is all about restricting rights. It's all about government intervention. It's all about getting in shit and so that they can stay in power, which is scary. So that's why I don't want to give them my vote because they're not what the fuck they're supposed to be. So y'all can suck it until then. I used to support a lot of Republican candidates, but it's not what the fuck they are now. It's weird. It's like a weird, crazy madhouse, and they don't see it. So
Republicans back in the day used to be the liberals, because I think that I think Abraham Lincoln was a Republican.
Yeah, he was. Well, the party switched
Speaking
ideals.
Of
essentially,
sexy politicians. Ooh, Abe Lincoln.
Oh yeah,
I knew
the 6'5"
he
monster.
was hung like a fucking horse.
Mm-hmm.
He also looked like a horse.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think he was hung more like a whale, or like definitely curled.
Yeah, mine curves to the left a little bit. Anywho, who's next on your list? I have one sexy motherfucker left.
Oh, and I have two left on my list, and this guy was almost vice president and looked to be a shining star in the Republican Party, speaking of which, even going as far as running for president in 2008. And he lost the primary to McCain. And this is John Edwards, you guys. If you Google him, he kind of looked like a modern, kind of like a JFK type vibe for him. And the future looked very bright for the sexy Edward until 2011, when he was indicted on 6 felony charges of violating multiple federal campaign contribution laws to cover up an extramarital affair to which he eventually admitted to. He was found not guilty on 1 count, and then the judge declared a mistrial on the remaining 5 charges as the jury was unable to come to an agreement. The Justice Department ended up dropping the remaining charges and did not attempt to retry Edwards. Though he was not convicted of any crimes, the revelation that he had engaged in an extramarital affair pretty much ended his political career. Especially, and this is the big one, because he fathered a child with a lady he cheated on his wife with, and The affair went on while his wife Elizabeth was dying of cancer.
I didn't know that.
So obviously his public image was pretty fucked after that. Just goes to show pretty on the outside means nothing if you're ugly on the inside, dude. And that is like the most fucked thing I can think of doing.
Well, I thought he was sexy until this moment. That's for sure.
Yeah, but that's why he literally disappeared from public eye. That guy was going to be like president one day. Like he really, and Kerry and him got really close to winning. That election with Bush wasn't a landslide by any means. That guy was really going to be potentially be the face of the party, especially because you look at Kerry, he was not. He was like the fucking crypt keeper. Like, hello. This guy added like young, smart, and pizzazz to Kerry's crypt keeper face. And he's beat now. Literally, I don't even know what he's up to now. I haven't heard of him in years.
Yeah.
But how are you going to fucking cheat on your wife with cancer, bro? Like, come on.
Yeah. And get caught.
That's the dumbest. That's
don't
even
get
like
caught,
the
dude.
dumbest part of it all, to get caught. And how you gonna have a kid, dude? Like what? Get some plan B. You're Republicans. You guys are used to fucking saying one thing and doing the other. Just fucking come on. You gonna have a kid? You think that makes you honorable? That makes you a dumbass. Oh, fuck. Just sign an NDA like the rest of your party does and move on with your life.
Bad news bears.
Oh, God, that's bad. That's such a dumb move. It's such a bad, awful move. But it just also, it like goes to show also, like a lot of these people are just for show. You got to be careful what you're listening to from the politicians because, they definitely say one thing and do another. But anywho, what you got?
Okay. My last one I think is so sexy. That's why he's number one for me. And he's a local politician. And I think that change starts locally first. And I'm not sure if you've ever done this before, but I volunteer for campaigns where like you're in the streets asking for signatures. And whenever someone's like, hey, will you sign this ballot, this petition to get this guy's name on the ballot?
Yeah.
I'm always like, absolutely. I've been where you are and I get it. But it's a lot of work, But this guy,
Totally.
he is a state senator for the New York City's 25th district. He has a theater background and a former public school teacher, and he just simply wants to save the world. His name is Jabari Brisport. And in 2020, he was elected, making history as the first openly queer person of color in the New York State Senate. And let me tell you, he is a freaking babe.
Wow.
He's such a do-gooder. Squeaky clean reputation. Just a nice guy.
And
he also has a banging bod. And like a killer smile. I mean, you can't ask for more. I really hope that he becomes president one day.
And I'm not seeing that he's in a relationship online, you guys. So he might be single, Simo.
Well, on his Instagram, he had a picture with some guy. They look very cute together. So I'm not some homewrecking hussy, of course not. But let me tell you, if I was standing next to him at the club after a few drinks, I would try my luck. I actually met him one time, and I was like starstruck because I did a fundraiser for politics, and so I did some free stand-up comedy, and he came after my set, and I was so thankful because I talked about some really dirty, nasty stuff, and I didn't want him to hear it.
Wow.
But he was so charismatic and just so sweet. I thought, wow, I wish I was in his district. I would vote for him and volunteer for him,
Totally. Simo's in there talking about his asshole. I've had sobering sex. And the guy's still like, what the fuck?
That is true. That is true, though. My therapist did ask me if I've ever had sober sex, and I was like, ooh, good question. I've had sobering sex. You know what I mean? So that is a true story. I wouldn't want Jabari Brisport to hear that. I want Jabari to hear all the volunteer work to do and how charitable I am, not my sexcapades,
That's right. All right. So Jabari, if you're listening, if you become single, give us a follow at Frat Chat Podcast on all social
Oh my
channels.
gosh,
And,
Jabari,
see who's
if
waiting.
you're listening, I would be so happy. A girl can dream.
That's right. A girl can dream. Speaking of girls, and I would kill for this one to dream of me, I'm going to end mine with one that whenever she comes on the screen, I just can't help but feel things for. She's just a total babe who has a hard-working backstory that I just love. Putting herself through school, paying the bills bartending, and got tired of the BS going on in the world and decided to do something about it. She's beautiful, sexy, smart, and a badass. And that's a combination that makes Carlos go, wow. And it's, of course, Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez, a.k.a. AOC, a.k.a. the love of my life.
She's like one of my personal heroes, and I just think she's so wonderful. And she was also a guest on RuPaul's Drag Race, and she looked like $1 million. What a fashion icon.
Yeah, she's a total babe, knows how to dress. She's about my age, so it can happen. She and like I said, she like really made herself from nothing. She's beautiful, and she really does not mind calling people out on their bullshit, no matter who it is. So
she's brilliant.
I just love her.
What a smart person.
I know. And you know that she's onto something when the Republicans always like to dig at her and try to bring her down. It just means she's doing something right.
Well, maybe they dig at her because she's non-white.
Well, of course, and a woman. You don't want
a woman because
you don't want
dicks.
a double minority power coming at them. No way. They make it a thing. Oh, they're trying to.
I don't think she would ever run for president, but I think she'd be such a wonderful president.
I don't know if. Well, the thing is, right now, obviously, she's 34, so it wouldn't be in years. Who knows what she's going to evolve?
You have to be at least 35 to run for president.
Yeah, but she's not going to run at 35, and it would be right now. She would need to evolve politically in a way where she finds a way to move herself a little more towards the middle, because that's what wins elections. Unless. Obviously, like you look at the MAGAs, they love their crazy right-wing stuff, but even that's not winning elections anymore. Usually who wins election is the political party that falls enough towards the middle where the average voter decides to vote for them, and that's literally what swings elections. And right now, she's a little too far over to the left in some ways that she disenfranchises even people in the Democrat Party. So I don't think she would win an election now, as much as I love her. But who knows? Like in 10 years, who knows? What she'll evolve like politically as she gets a little older, and the world evolves as well. So we'll see. And it's definitely way far too early to discount her, because I'm not gonna lie, she definitely has the toughness, the brass, the intelligence, the ability to speak, which is really important, to say what she means and means what she says. She really has all the tools where she could be, a great president, in my opinion. If you just look at the tools from a politician point of view that have made presidents successful, she just needs to get the ideas a little more towards the center, in my opinion, and she'll be there. But I think she could do it, to be honest. It's just, right now it's way too early to tell. Who knows what the fuck is going to be. I can't even tell what the world's going to be like in a year right now, because like we don't even know. Like, I laughed at the thought of Trump winning again, but it's very possible. So I don't know. Who knows what the fuck the world's going to be like literally a year from now.
People are like, I'm going to move out of the country. And I'm like, I know all about immigration, and it's hard to do that. Good luck.
Yeah. And people always say that. They said it last time and they didn't. And now they're pushing the envelope. Well, if he wins re-election again, it's like, shut up. And then fucking start shopping right now. Like, get out of here. No one's going to fucking move. But it does scare me a little bit. What happens if he wins again? And now it's his second term, and now he doesn't have to worry about re-election, and he can do whatever he decides to do, whatever the fuck he really wants to do. I don't know. And plus, I don't like any person using political office to shield themselves from crimes and responsibilities against that. So it surprises me greatly, again, that the party of law and order will have a candidate with that many fucking 93, I think it is, 91 or 93 indictments against him. Like, that's absurd. But again, like I said earlier, in practice, the Republican Party is not who they were before. It's just
I haven't heard much from his kids lately. Are they like, okay, Dad, like enough's enough?
Well, I mean, they were part of this suit too, and they got to pay some big fines too. So I'm sure we're gonna hear them. I always see Don Jr. crying on Twitter, like, my father, like doing his bullshit. I just hate those kids, to be honest. And he's definitely like always coked out of his mind. He's always like throwing stones at Hunter Biden's like, dude, I would love to see your stash. Like, he goes on these live, like Twitter lives, like, my father. And he's like wailing like Kermit the Frog typing that meme, you know?
Oh, no.
But anywho, fuck them kids.
One day.
Oh God, I hope not. I hope he never runs.
Yeah,
I don't think he would ever win though, because I think everybody knows that his kids are a joke. So, you know, there's only so much you can say, my daddy, before even like the fucking most hard-pressed Republican voter is going to be like, okay, this guy's definitely some little bitch. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, speaking of daddies, we had a pretty amazing list of some sexy daddies and some bombshell ladies today.
That's
We
right.
did a good job.
We did a nice little list here. A little bit of everything. Very diverse, just like our love life. Oh, yeah. So let us know what you thought of our list. And AOC, if you're listening, call me. Because you are my number one. And I love you. Oh, yeah.
Ditto.
Yeah. Now give us a follow on all social channels. Let us know what you thought of our list at Frat Chat Podcast. That's on Instagram. That's on Facebook. That's on Twitter. That's on YouTube. You can also give me a follow as well at Carlos Does the World on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok, on YouTube, on Threads. Carlos Does World. Twitter/X. You can follow my good buddy Seema over here at chris.moore.comedy on Instagram and TikTok at @CMoreComedy on Twitter/X. Oh yeah. So it's time to sexy our way out of here. Mr. Mo, it's time to roll. So why don't you get us out of here?
I motion to adjourn this meeting.
Me too, because I got to go to the bathroom for a few minutes. For no particular reason. After talking about AOC, you know, no particular reason.
Oh,
Gotta go. So I suck it. just need some
your
tissues.
girlfriend's not home. Just lock the dog in the bedroom and just go to Pound Town.
That's true. I'm the king of the castle right now. It's gonna be like my risky business scene. I'm just gonna be jerking off everywhere.
Nice.
That's fair. I'm gonna paint the walls white. You're at the Frat Chat Podcast.
Slinging yogurt like a fucking champ. Attaboy.
I'm gonna make this into a CSI scene. So we'll be back next week with another edition of the greatest podcast in the history of podcasting time. This is the Frat Chat Podcast. See ya! Peace.